Hi there, handbaggers, and welcome to the Duck's Nest. This is the Military Mom, and in this video, we are going to take a look into the Word. We are going to take a look into my grandma handbag collection, and then we are going to wrap up with a very special reveal. So I hope that you will stay with me until the end. And before I do any of that, I want to let you know that I have the windows open here in the Operations Center, so you may hear noise from the outside. And I want to thank and welcome all of my new subscribers. We are so happy that you have decided to join us here at the Duck's Nest. And I typically upload videos once a week. Occasionally I will upload a midweek video, so if you want to know when I have uploaded videos, please hit the notification bell, and maybe Google will notify you, and maybe Google won't, and maybe Google will notify you 4 days after I've uploaded the video. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Word. I am reading from this Bible. This is the New International Version, and the wording in this translation is more modern and a little easier to read than the King James Version. So I am turning to the Old Testament book of Psalms, and I'm going to read the first 14 verses of the 51st Psalm along with the introduction, which reads, "For the director of music, a psalm of David. When the prophet Nathan came to him after David had committed adultery with Bathsheba." So we all know the story of David and Bathsheba. However, in case you don't, let me give you a little synopsis. David was the king of Israel, and David got himself into a little bit of trouble with a woman named Bathsheba. And the reason that he got into trouble is because Bathsheba was a married woman. So when David's army went into battle, David decided to stay at home. And while he was roaming around the rooftop of his palace, he looked down on this beautiful woman named Bathsheba. Well, he sent for her. She could not refuse because he was the king. So they hooked up, and Bathsheba got pregnant. Well, then David panicked, and he sent for Bathsheba's husband Uriah to come home, thinking that Uriah would sleep with his wife and cover the mishap. Uriah refused to sleep with Bathsheba, so David was in another dilemma, which he decided to solve by sending Uriah into the heat of battle in hopes that it would kill him. Well, David got his wish. Uriah was killed. So not only had David committed adultery, he had committed murder. And since the Lord sees everything, the prophet Nathan was sent to David to accuse him of his sins. And this 51st Psalm is David's response. "Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions. Wash away all my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are proved right when you speak and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Surely you desire truth in the inner parts. You teach me wisdom in the inmost place. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquity. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence, or take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners will turn back to you. Save me from blood guilt, O God, the God who saves me, and my tongue will sing of your righteousness. So even though David committed sin after sin, when he was confronted, he acknowledged his sin and he repented, which is why I believe the Bible calls David a man after God's own heart. All right, so let's get to the handbag portion of this video. And you all may be wondering what a grandma collection is. Basically, my grandma collection is bags that are not trendy. They're not up-to-date looking. They're bags that your grandma would carry. And I'm going to start with this one. This is my Dooney and Burke double handle tote, and you can probably look at it and tell why it looks outdated. First of all, I think it's the slide lock. I think the logo lock on the Dooney bags now are more trendy. These leather patches make the bag look a little dated. So here is the Dooney double handle tote. The next bag that looks like a grandma bag to me is my Coach Ace satchel. Now these bags are not going to leave my collection. I'm just explaining that these top handle bags tend to, I don't know, date themselves more quickly than like a crossbody. So the Ace satchel, and I think what dates this bag maybe is the shape and this treatment, along with the belt on the side with the turn lock. Another top handle bag, and this bag, you all, could not be any more Dooney and Burkish. It is this one, and I think what dates this bag is the heavy Florentine leather, the trapeze shape, all of these equestrian details. So this is definitely a grandma bag, but I am a grandmother and I will continue to rock my Dooney and Burke tassel bag. And another Dooney and Burke bag. Yeah, I don't even have to explain this one. This is crossword signature, and those of you who follow my channel may remember that I do love Dooney and Burke signature. And the reason that I bought this bag was because of the beautiful endless braid on the handle. But this bag does look dated. These, I don't even know what these are. They're not tassels, whatever this is. Anyway. A Coach bag, my Margot satchel, kind of nana looking. Another granny bag is my Coach Zoe, and this is just a plain bag that you all know your grandmothers carried to church back in the day. You can just see this on the pew, right? And mine is not embellished, it's just plain pink leather. Another bag along the same line, a Meemaw bag a little bit, is my Dooney and Burke Blair in just the classic shape of a top handle bag. And this Coach Drifter is a Nana Mima grand looking bag, and I think it's because of the shape and also because of this big flap, but probably mostly because of the dowel rods. And this final bag, you all, has a story behind it. The last top handle bag in the grandma collection is this big old Dooney and Burke side pocket monster that they call the compartment bag. And those of you who follow my channel may remember that originally I bought this bag in a smaller size for my sister, was so impressed, went on eBay, found the large size, fell in love with it, spent $239 for it, and it is, I've learned since buying it, a Prada knockoff, or a Prada dupe, or a copy of a Prada bag. So let me show you the Prada bag. Alright, this is the front of the Prada bag. This is the side. This is the back. Now I can tell you all, Prada may have designed this bag, but Dooney owns it. And let me show you why. Let's go back for a minute to, this is the back of the bag. You will see there's no exterior pocket. Dooney added a very nice zippered pocket to the rear of this bag. The side pockets on the Prada bag are buckles, and the side pockets on the Dooney bag are tongue and loop. And even though the Prada bag may have a magnetic under the buckle on the side pocket, it couldn't be any easier than that. And finally, well, not finally, but let me show you the front again. You will notice that the Prada bag is very plain in the front, where the Dooney bag has beautiful stitching down the center, and Dooney carried that stitching all the way through the bag. The top, the back, mid-seam, the buckle, I mean, everywhere is contrasting stitching. So this Dooney bag might be a dupe, but Dooney totally owned it, and I am so glad that I picked up this Dooney and Burke Prada knockoff. So now let's talk about price. The bag that I've just shown you is pre-loved on eBay, and it is selling for $575. So I got a better version of the bag for $239. So now that we have talked about my granny bags, I have an article that I want to show you from this month's Marie Claire. That is Don Johnson's daughter, Dakota, on the cover. Flipping to the handbag section, this is the title of the article: The Old Reliable Top Handle Bag. Isn't that so funny that Marie Claire is thinking the same way I think I am? This is a Ferragamo top handle that is selling for $3,000, and then this beautiful model is rocking a Brahmin bag that is $287. So now on to the reveal, and I'm so excited because I want to show you 3 charms that were made by Carmen Hawkins that have landed here at the Duck's Nest, and I couldn't be happier. So here is one, here is the second, and here is the third. And before I put these charms against these bags, I want to show you all how Carmen packaged my charms. Well, first, let me go back to the beginning and let's talk about the collaboration that Carmen and I entered into. Carmen made this a very smooth process. She and I communicated mainly by text. There was one phone call. I told Carmen what I wanted, and Carmen just absolutely nailed it. She sent me pictures of the beginning of the charm to make sure she was on the right track. I'm like, oh, Carmen, I'm loving it. And she took my idea and totally created these charms, and then she packaged them beautifully. She shipped them quickly, and she within the box, which was very well protected, she wrapped them in this paper, which is secured by her business sticker. And then within this little hollow tube, she put the charms in these sheer jewelry bags. She again included a card, and then she sent a glossy postcard of her work, and on the back she included a handwritten note. So Carmen, you are the master at these charms. Thank you so much. I could not be happier. And let me just now put my charms against a few of these bags so that you can see how the bags have been charmed by Carmen. We'll start with my chalk satchel, and of course I'm going to reach for the white one, and look how full these charms are. This is white and clear and pearl and silver with silver hardware. Beautiful, beautiful. And against the Dooney and Burke. Now, if you're wondering how I'm going to attach this charm with this lobster claw, Carmen did include an attachment that I think will work on these types of handles. So with the silver hardware on this bag, this just adds a nice sparkle. So I'm going to lay this one aside for a moment and move on to my absolute favorite. And Carmen even said this was her favorite, and I think Carmen's mom liked this one. This has iridescent beads, clear beads, silver and gold hardware, and this is, can you see the little roses, the little gold roses there? So against my Dooney and Burke grandma bag, yeah, grandma's got a brand new bag. It's so nice and works so well with the stitching and the hardware on this bag. And then even on the signature bag, even though it's busy, you can see the bling on the charm, how it sparkles. And now I'm going to move on to this one, which has shades of mint green and turquoise. There's a silver heart there. There's a rose. And this one has silver hardware. So pretty. And you all know which bag I'm going to bring up. Work it, Granny, work it. Yes. So nice against this beautiful blue-green. And then against the pink Zoe, I think I'm going to go back. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the white one, I think, because of the silver hardware on this bag. How dressy is that? And then the iridescent works even with the silver hardware on this bag. Blair. I'm going to use white on Blair because her stitching is white. And then the iridescent. Uh-oh. And then on the drifter, oh my gosh, and this strike plate and the turn lock is already shining. So when you add the sparkle from the charm, work it, Granny, work it. And finally, on the big old compartment bag, because the stitching is white, and then the iridescent with that gold hardware that is just so eye-catching. And then finally, I'm going to bring up a bag that is not part of my Granny collection, but I wanted you to see the black alto with the white stitching with the turquoise. The iridescent. And this plain smooth leather is the perfect background for the white. So there you have it, handbaggers, my Granny collection that has been updated and charmed by Carmen. Thank you so much for stopping by the Duck's Nest. I'm looking around to make sure I didn't forget anything. And as always, happy carrying.